Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be discussing fasting detox symptoms. Listen, guys, so we have a challenge coming up January 28th. It is our JR72 fasting protocol. This is where we're going to be fasting for a period of about 21 days doing juice. The entire process takes about 30 days because we do a prep beforehand. I want to invite you all to join us. Let's get the year started off right with a juice cleanse. Juice has so many different benefits outside of your traditional fasting, and I want you guys to take advantage of it and experience it if you haven't already. If you guys are new to fasting, this is a great opportunity to get into the fasting groove without too much resistance. We've got a community that usually spans anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people that are going to be doing this. So you're going to have a huge community of people that are participating with you. There is a huge energetic singularity that we get to experience. Everybody is focused on the same task. It is a powerful experience, and this year we are going to be changing it up because we're going to be offering, we're going to do a giveaway. One of the most popular juicers on the market right now, the Nama J2. We are going to be giving away a Nama J2 to people who register and add either the herbs or the castor pack with their registration. So you join, you get the registration plus the herbs, any of our detox herbs or appetite suppressant teas, or the castor pack. You're going to be automatically entered to win the juicer. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Someone's going to win an amazing prize. We're going to lose weight and get healthy. So the link for that is going to be in the description and probably in the comment section. The challenge starts January 28th. Let's get the year started off right. Okay, so today I wanted to refresh my video where I talked about detox symptoms because honestly, I did that video a very long time ago. I've learned a tremendous amount, and I noticed in my original video, I didn't give really any solutions to detox issues. I just talked about the problems. So today we're going to talk about what you could potentially experience when you fast. And because we've been putting out some new protocols, especially dry fasting, I figured this would be a good time to kind of refresh you all. So traditionally speaking, one of the most common detox symptoms when you're going to fast are headaches. If you are a coffee drinker or just in general you consume a lot of caffeine, there's a good opportunity for you to see headaches. Why? Because it is a detox. You're going to be, as you detox the caffeine out of your system, it just comes along with headaches. Whether you're fasting or not, you guys probably have experienced this, especially if you drink coffee throughout the week. And then there's like a vacation period where you're not really drinking it or whatever the case is, you can't get to coffee. You've probably experienced this. One of the ways to help get ahead of this is through prep, specifically through hydration. We're going to saturate our body with water to help usher out the toxins that are in our system that are going to cause the headaches. As a matter of fact, outside of caffeine, if you guys aren't big caffeine drinkers, you may have noticed that you have headaches on a regular basis. Typically, headaches are going to come from dehydration. You know, those migraines that you have for weeks on end or whatever the case may be, believe it or not, oftentimes it's severe dehydration. So we're going to use this as a tool during our prep to help mitigate feeling headaches. Now, I want to say this before we get too much deeper in. Detoxing is actually good. When I started to learn about fasting through my experience, I convinced myself that any detox symptoms I experienced were going to be a good thing. Why? Because better out of you than in you. If you are experiencing a detox symptom, that's your body getting something out of you. Another thing I want you all to understand when it comes to fasting, fasting does not hurt you. As a matter of fact, in a position where you have detoxed your body to a certain degree, you'll fast and you won't actually experience any detox symptoms. So that's a good indicator of where you are. If you're fasting and you're not experiencing detox symptoms, then you've probably there's one or two things. Either you have a lot of inflammation, you have a lot of fat, and your body is able to really maintain status quo while you fast. So if you've never done any fasting or detoxing and you're not experiencing detox symptoms, it's probably because you're on that side of the spectrum. But if you've been fasting for a while and you used to experience detox symptoms and now you don't, that's a good indicator that you have greatly improved your health and the level of toxicity in your body has gone down. So kudos to you. Now, the body uses the skin, which is is referred to as the third kidney. The body will use the skin to release contamination. It doesn't like to use the skin, however, it will use the skin, especially considering that our livers are so low functioning, our colon is all backed up. We're not eliminating well through the proper channels, and so therefore the body's going to use the skin. This is where you get your issues like psoriasis, eczema, pimples, rashes, acne. Okay, this is where it comes from. It's not because you put something on your skin. Sometimes it could be an allergic reaction, sure. However, oftentimes it's because the body is not eliminating well. And what you'll notice is if you deal with these types of issues in the past, like severe acne, psoriasis, whatever, then when you fast, you may see that happen. Okay, I know it's going to freak you out. Please do not be freaked out. Don't run and buy a cream. Don't use steroids. Let the body go through its process, because what will happen is, yes, you're going to have a big flare up, maybe the biggest you've ever had. And then when that has calmed down and gone away, you will have made a huge stride in improving your health. Maybe you never see that type of flare up again. So once again, I'm going to encourage you guys not to freak out when that type of stuff happens. If you want something to help soothe your skin, I recommend a natural oil. You could use a virgin olive oil or a coconut oil, fractionated coconut oil, or something of that nature. You can actually use it as a carrier oil and add like a soothing essential oil like lavender or something of that nature, and you could rub it on the affected area, or you could just leave it alone. Okay. Honestly, I would, you could do the essential oil, but make sure you're using high quality products. If you're cheaping out, or if you're just running without understanding where to get this stuff from, you could actually be doing more harm than good, because a lot of these products have extra fillers and stuff in it. So get yourself some high quality stuff, put it on there, it'll help soothe it, or just leave it alone. It'll go away, and you might find it doesn't come back. Now, here's really, really common ones. Dizziness and weakness are both extremely common, okay? Due to the fact that when you fast, you typically are going to see low blood pressure. So if you guys are monitoring your blood pressure, you're probably going to notice that your blood pressure goes down certain times in your fast. And then that's going to be accompanied by dizziness, weakness, just feeling lethargic, low energy. That's all very normal. But this is also why we tell you, look, prepare for your fast mentally, physically, and if you can, take some time off work. I think that it's ridiculous that we expect to go from eating every single day, and then we're starting to fast, and now all of a sudden our body's going through all these changes, and we want it to perform at the same level it did when it was not detoxing. Okay, this is one of the reasons why we tell you guys not to exercise when you fast. So what I would say is, if you can take a couple of days off work, especially if you know that you get really heavy detox symptoms on day 3 of your fast or day 4 of your fast, you could prepare in advance. Hey, take that time off work. That way you can just stay home, rest, sleep as much as possible. And that's going to help with the dizziness, the weakness. One other thing I'll say is, hey, when you're standing up, take your time. Stand up slow. Stay away from really hot showers. That can cause issues with when you have low blood pressure, you have dizziness, weakness. And I would probably stay away from like the sauna as well during this time. Now, as I was going through my wellness journey and learning about fasting and interacting with our community, people started talking about this fasting insomnia thing. And I didn't know what they were talking about at first, because I know what insomnia is. And they would say fasting insomnia. And essentially what it is when you fast and you can't sleep. Now, I did experience that. However, I never put the insomnia label on it, because I understood what was happening. Let's look at this. During the day, you have a full charge. You wake up every day, you have a full charge. Then you start to eat breakfast. First thing in the morning, boom, saps your charge. You go from 100% charge maybe to like 80 or 70% charge. Right? Then you have a snack on the way to work. Then you get something from the vending machine. Then you go take lunch. Then you have an after work snack. Then you have dinner. And every time you eat, you're sapping tremendous amounts of your energy reserve. A lot of you guys recognize this as the itis. Okay? You might notice that you get tired or lethargic after work. This is very common for a lot of people. So we understand that it's sapping our energy. Well, guess what? When you're fasting, you don't have those huge energy draws. Now, you still will get energy draws, because your body will go towards, using that energy to heal, which is very beneficial. However, you can also feel extra energy, because your body's not digesting all that food. It all depends. So you can experience extreme tiredness or extreme energy. Once again, there's nothing wrong. My recommendation is when you are experiencing a moment where you cannot sleep, don't try to force it. I mean, you could do some things. You could take some lavender. You could turn your computer off. You can read in dim light. Those types of things will help. But if you're finding you can't get to sleep, just get up. Use the extra time to your advantage. Read that book. Work on that project or whatever it is you need to do. Distract yourself. Don't try to fight it, and don't take melatonin, y'all. Stay away from melatonin, okay? We don't want to be using any type of synthetic sleeping agent. Now, it's important to understand that because when you fast, you are going through a detox, you guys can experience cravings. Cravings, when you eat something, the chemical constituents of the food product you put in your mouth become imparted in your blood. They become a part of you, okay? You are what you eat. That means that when you start to fast and the body is getting rid of those chemical constituents. Now, this could be good stuff. It could be bad. It don't matter. We're cleaning house. We're detoxing. Old stuff that wasn't properly broken down, stuff that wasn't properly absorbed, etc., etc. You can start experiencing cravings for it. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people think that the craving means that the body needs something from this food item. But we crave crazy stuff like, pickles and ice cream. You know what I mean? Weird combinations or things we haven't eaten in a long time. For me, it was sloppy Joe and candy bars. Things that I didn't eat on a regular basis. It's going to be depending on what you have eaten and whatever. I've even heard people say that they've experienced cravings for foods they've only ever had once. I would talk to people who have been vegan for 20 years, and they maybe had chicken nuggets one time, and on their fast 25 years later, now all of a sudden they're experiencing a craving for chicken nuggets. So what I need you all to understand is you are what you eat, and when you start to fast, your body will start to clean house, and all that stuff you ate 20, 40 years ago is finally getting a chance to come out. But that's how long it stays in you. So as you're detoxing that stuff, you will experience those foods, those cravings. You cannot give into them. If you do not give into them, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded. You will lose the craving. I virtually have no cravings anymore, okay? Now, you can recreate them, and you will definitely damage yourself if you eat, if you give into that craving. But if you don't, you will be rewarded, and you will have better control over your eating habits. And so use it as a tool to benefit you. In addition to cravings, you guys are going to experience what I like to call an emotional detox. You may have experienced a heartbreak. You may have experienced mental trauma. You might have energetic trauma. You might have spiritual trauma, okay? There's a lot of things that impact us and we don't realize it. The beautiful thing about fasting is if you fast intentionally, and typically for these types of benefits, I'm usually going to fast for 10 days or more. But if you fast intentionally, you can actually start to detox those imbalances out of your system. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, it's better than therapy. It's free and it's better than therapy. I have seen people resolve tremendous childhood trauma just through fasting and by understanding what's going on. So as you start getting up there in those days, 10, 11, 12, you may start experiencing extreme feelings like anger, good. You can feel happy. You can feel sad. You can feel depression. You could feel an array of different emotions. And what's happening is, once again, the body is cleansing. It's releasing. This is a good thing when this happens. Be excited. Even though if you're feeling depressed, you're probably not going to be excited. But remember what I'm telling you. If you are fasting and you're not typically depressed and you feel depressed on your fast, it will go away. And when you get finished, there will be a rain cloud lifted off of you that you didn't even know existed. It is a wonderful benefit, and you just need to be prepared and understand it. Another detox symptoms is feeling cold. Sometimes you fast and you just feel cold. Some of us are cold-natured. Some of us have poor circulation. Some of us don't have that issue at all. But what I'm going to tell you is, oftentimes when the body is healing, it will take the blood from the outside of the skin or the phalange, the toes. It will send it inward to the center of the body where it is needed. If you feel cold, that's okay. Grab a blanket, dress warmer. You're not doing any permanent damage. And remember, when it comes to fasting, Fasting does not create any permanent damage. What creates damage is when you fast and you do not break it properly. That will damage you. Permanent damage, I don't know, but it will damage you, okay? So we always want to make sure to refeed properly. Now, I get this question a lot. Chris, I'm fasting and I got diarrhea. What should I do? Nothing. I mean, honestly, when it comes to cleaning out the colon, it's not always going to be pretty, man. You're gonna have to deal with diarrhea. You're gonna have to deal with really dark bowel movements. You're gonna have to deal with smelly bowel movements. There's going to be an array of things happening. So one of the detox symptoms potentially is diarrhea. On the other side of the spectrum, you could also experience no bowel movements. People get really concerned about that. They think they're constipated. There's a difference between being constipated and thinking you're constipated. As long as you don't have any discomfort or any bloatedness or anything going on down there, don't worry about it if you've gone 3, 4, 8, 10 days without having a bowel movement. Believe it or not, it's very, very common. It's a common detox symptom. If you do feel some bloatingness or something of that nature, I would recommend you can go and get a colonic, or you could do an enema at home. That will usually help release some of that. Also, if you feel really ill on your fast, you might need to go ahead and do a colonic or something of that nature to help release some of those bowels. Look, at the end of the day, when you're fasting, the body is going to be dumping toxicity into your system, and you want to help move that stuff out. This is one of the reasons why with our challenges, we take you guys through a prep, and then there's also certain tools we recommend. One of the tools I'm going to recommend for you guys listening today to help mitigate detox symptoms is a castor pack. So we developed a castor pack. It's a very simple tool. You put a little bit of hexane-free castor oil on a cloth, you tie it around your body, and then you sleep with that right over your liver or whatever area you're looking to detox. I do recommend starting with the liver, and that will help move the bowels if your bowels are stagnated. It will also help encourage detoxification. And also, if you do this prior, if you do it during your prep for your fast, you can help mitigate all detox symptoms holistically. I'm not saying eliminate them completely, but you could lower the impact of the detox symptoms you experience. So I'll put a link I'll put a link in the description or comment box for you guys, and you can check out our AHA castor pack. Now, you can also experience heartburn as well as throwing up. These are two different things. They're usually caused by two different things, but throwing up is one of them things where it's like, look, if you're randomly throwing up, think about what you've put in your mouth. If all you've put in your mouth is water, then the body is probably getting rid of something. It's ejecting something that should have never been in there. It may have been stuck in your system for a long time now, and all of a sudden the body's getting rid of it because it has the energy to do so. Don't freak out just because you're throwing up. Now, if you're experiencing like you're throwing up and you're doing dry heaving, then it may be a good opportunity. It might be a good time to add a little infused water to your fast, anything that you can keep down, because you don't want to, do a whole bunch of dry heaving and things of that nature. But typically that doesn't happen. Usually it's just, you might have thrown up once or twice, or you might have a bout of just throwing up, and then it usually will calm down. Okay, that's nothing to be afraid of. However, like I said, if it continues too long, you can have some infused water where you just basically cut up some fruit slices, put it in a gallon of distilled water, let that cold steep for about 4 hours. You drink that. That should calm you down. If not, you can also up it to like some green juice or some low glycemic juice to help with that. Okay. Now, with the heartburn, essentially what we're dealing with is a lack of acid. Feels like you have too much acid. That's usually what we think. It's usually a lack of acid. So you can add a little acid back to your system with the apple cider vinegar. That's one option. You can also try some warm water, drink it like it's tea. That's another option. There's many different things people suggest. The heartburn thing tends to be a difficult one. It's really challenging to just say what is going to work. I think I've even had people recommend baking soda in some water to help with heartburn. When it comes down to it, this is why it's good to be in a community. You could come in a community, go to www.ahacommunities.com, join, put the question, hey guys, I got heartburn, what can I do? And you'll get a whole bunch of different things you could try, and maybe one of them will work for you, and you'll figure out how to deal with heartburn yourself, okay? So that's just a good option. Also, I did mention that the castor packs are a good option for helping to mitigate detox symptoms. Another tool I want to offer to you guys is Clean Slate. Clean Slate is it's a zeolite product. Clinoptilolite is the zeolite used in Clean Slate. It's fractured, but it's fractured in a way that it maintains its honeycomb structure. That honeycomb structure is what is able to trap contaminants. So they break it up into nano-sized particles. They're able to trap very small contaminants in the system. It helps with removing heavy metals, allergens, glyphosates, sulfates, etc. Now, the benefit of using something like this is helps mitigate detox symptoms. If you start using Clean Slate during your prep and then you use it throughout your fasting process, it will help aid in mitigating the detox symptoms just to make your overall process a little bit easier. One of the benefits of doing the actual prep, okay, that we talked about a little bit earlier, the prep is going to help with the hunger pangs that you typically feel when you fast. Okay, so what we see is spikes of ghrelin production during the times of the day when we typically eat. Well, if you do your prep and you reduce the frequency of eating and the density of the food, the caloric density of the food, you see spikes less frequently and they're less intense. So this will help with hunger pangs just by going through a week of prep before you start your fasting. Now, in my original video, I didn't talk about this. I wanted to mention this last piece, and it is the detox symptoms that you just don't see coming. One of the things that you'll notice is as you go through your fasting journey, you will detox people too. Okay, it's not just about your physical detox. There's a mental detox that happens, and you will start seeing things in your relationships that you don't like or you don't agree with. You're going to start seeing things in your friendships. You're going to start seeing issues with, people that would be considered family, and you feel like you got to be around them. Your eyes are going to open up to people and negativity around you. This is going to be a very uncomfortable detox, but I just felt like I should warn you all, okay, that this is a possibility. Some people are going to be willing to take this journey with you. Some people are not. You can still love someone and love them from a distance. There's been many friends and family members that I haven't been able to be close with because we're simply not on the same frequency. And when you guys are looking to improve your health and wellness, you want to be around groups of people who are on the same frequency to encourage you, because this is not an easy thing to do. There's nothing easy about fasting. Okay, it's a simple process, but it's a challenge. So you want to be around people that are going to uplift you, and you may find that there are challenges in your relationships. Now, I like to look at the positive side of things. If there's a challenge presented in one of my relationships, in my opinion, that gives us the opportunity to grow a stronger bond. It is an issue that we've had that's been underlying, and now we get an opportunity to address it. So it's all about perspective sometimes, but I just wanted to add that last piece. Listen, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Make sure to join our challenge. The JR72 is starting January 28th. So the challenge is going to be $98 to join. If you add a castor pack or the herbs to your challenge, you're going to be automatically entered to win the Nama J2 juicer. So listen, somebody's gonna get that juicer. We're really excited to give it away. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, the application of knowledge is power, and I will see you all next time.